All right, folks, let me start this video by saying on Super Bowl Sunday, I came down with the flu, I think. I never go to the doctor, but it felt like the flu. I was laid up for 2 days, you guys know that, and then I went back to work that Tuesday afternoon or Wednesday or something. My wife got hit a few days after that, and then we basically both slowly recovered. And then a few days ago, she got hit with round two. And then today, while I was working, I even worked out this morning. I felt fine. I got hit with round two. So I don't know if I'm going to trade tomorrow, but I'm pretty freaking miserable. I don't mean to use this video to whine. It's more like, hey, I might not be there tomorrow, just as a heads up. But I am trying to make this video so you guys have a list to watch. Let me slide this over for newer members. Good description of what we're all about in the chat room. I do want to give a couple hat tips. Kevin P with BCG. Look what it did back here, here, and here. Crazy topping tails, but if you're watching on an intraday basis, doesn't really matter. He called, see this lower high right here at 375? It had an earlier high of 390. He called it over 375, which was right there. Stop goes down here, and it went to 581. Beautiful call. And then Ramesh gave MLGO over 465, which is just over this tight little range here. So the 465 entry was right there. And what did it take? 10 minutes to go to 574. So a couple really nice calls and an extremely ugly tape. Let's go to the SPY again. Nasty day. I talked about this being kind of a rare day, this kind of range. Well, we did it again. So it's pretty ugly. Be interesting to see what happens. Usually after a big day, you don't get another big day, so keep that in mind. It might be a lot of decent bounce plays tomorrow. Who knows? I don't have a very big list, but let me go into it. I'm trying to find stuff with relative strength. So IBIO meets those parameters. PEPG. Actually, in after hours, this thing I think is still moving. It went up to 310 in after hours, so that one's worth watching just because of the relative strength. MPW, nice breakout today. INVH, really strong day. Hang on, let me switch to the 200-day chart. I knew that 200-day was lurking up there. That's another reason I like INVH, because it had this big pop, but a lot of times the 200-day can act as a magnet. So that one, and then I also wanted the 200-day when I show you NVIDIA for potential bounce. Not NVIDIA, sorry, I meant Tesla. Well, let's look at NVIDIA. Nasty day today. They had earnings. The earnings seemed decent, and an ugly day. Again, usually after an ugly day, I guess I'd like to say I'd like 2 or 3 days down in a row, but you kind of already had a sell-off, a little bounce, gap up and a big sell-off. I'm going to watch this one for a possible bounce tomorrow. We'll see if we get an A+ setup. And then let's go to the Tesla I was just talking about. Look at that, like what, 5 days in a row, right down the 200-day is technically 278.14. I'm not going to just buy it if it hits that price tomorrow. You might get a nice pierce of it, and then sometimes you go up and retest on an intraday basis. But I'm definitely looking for some kind of bounce play setup in Tesla tomorrow. Only on an intraday basis, guys. I don't swing trade. CAVA had earnings, I want to say on this day, maybe this day, and the earnings actually looked really good, and it's just still selling, right? So this one's just overdue for a bounce. SMCI, also just a recently in-play stock. Nasty couple days. Just watching it for a bounce. And then WRD, which had the NVIDIA stake, which got it up to here and then up to here, and then it's been bleeding ever since. It's almost round tripped. So if there's any kind of bounce in the market, this one might get a bounce. I'm not in love with any of these, but I think you guys will find some intraday setups in these tomorrow if I'm not there. And there's a strong chance I won't be, but I might see in the morning. Have a good night.